This is number 6 from the 2022 7th grade math STAAR test. Which equation is true when x equals 4? So all I'm going to do is just plug in 4 for x in each answer choice until I find one that's true. So letter F is 3x plus 4 equals 8. If I plug in 4 for x, I'm going to get 3 times 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. 3 times 4 is 12, and so now we have 12 plus 4 is equal to 8, and obviously that is not true, so we're going to mark out letter F. Letter G is 5x minus 2 equals 18. When we plug in 4 for x, we're going to get 5 times 4 minus 2 equals 18. 5 times 4 is obviously 20, and then if we subtract 2, that is equal to 18, so letter G is going to be our correct answer. This is number 7 from the 2022 7th grade math STAAR test. During a 90-minute school play, the main character was on stage 80% of the time. What amount of time in minutes was the main character on stage? So we need to find 80% of 90. And to do that, I'm going to change 80% to a decimal and multiply it by 90. So we're going to do 90 times 0.80. And so I'm going to have 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 9 is also 0, then I'm going to write down another 0, 8 times 0 is also 0, and then 8 times 9 is 72. Now we can add and we're going to get 0, 0, 2, and 7, and we have 2 decimal places, so our answer is going to be 72, and that's going to be letter D. This is number 8 from the 2022 7th grade math STAAR test. Imani compared the number of fluid ounces per bottle of sunscreen to the cost of 4 different brands of sunscreen. The information she gathered is shown in the table. Based on the data in the table, which brand of sunscreen has the greatest cost per fluid ounce? So what we're going to do is we're going to take each cost and divide it by the number of fluid ounces per bottle, and that's going to give us our cost per fluid ounce. So brand W is going to be 12 divided by 20, and that's going to give us 0.6. Brand X is 11.25 divided by 15, and that's going to be 0.75. Brand Y is going to be 6.5 divided by 10, and that's 0.65. And then brand Z is 2.5 divided by 5, which is 0.5. And so the greatest cost per fluid ounce is 0.75, which is letter G. This is number 9 from the 2022 7th grade math STAAR test. Chad will have new carpet put on the rectangular floors of 2 rooms in his house. One floor is 12.5 feet long, and the other floor is 15 3/4 feet long. Each floor has a width of 10 feet. What is the total area in square feet of the new carpet? So this is just going to be a multiplication problem. So we're going to multiply 12.5 or 12.5 by 10. We're also going to multiply 15 3/4 by 10, and then we're going to add our 2 areas together. So 12.5 times 10 is going to end up giving us 125, and then 15.75 times 10 is going to give us 157.5. Then we just need to add those 2 numbers together, and once we do that, we should get 282.5, which is letter C. This is number 10 from the 2022 7th grade math STAAR test. A scientist measured the weights of squirrels in 2 populations. The dot plots display data from each population. Which statement is best supported by the information in the dot plots? So let's go ahead and go through each answer choice. Letter F says the 2 populations have different mode weights. So mode is just the number that appears most often, and in both population 1 and population 2, the number that's most often is 15 because it has 5 dots. So that means they actually have the same mode, so letter F is not correct. Letter G says the 2 populations have different median weights. So median is just the middle number, and in this case, since our dot plots are symmetrical, we can easily tell that the median, again, is 15. So they actually have the same median, so again, letter G is not correct. Letter H, the data for the 2 populations have different skews. So these populations are actually not skewed at all, meaning they don't skew to the left or to the right. They're actually symmetrical and have the most in the middle. So letter H is not going to be correct. And then letter J says the data for the 2 populations have different ranges. So range is just from the smallest number to the biggest number. So population 1 goes from 12 to 18 for a range of 6. And population 2 goes from 11 to 19 for a range of 8. So they do have different ranges. Letter J is correct.